Capital News tonight. Presidential candidates continue to sell their policies at various campaign rallies. Political parties face financial challenges. And in sports, Taifa Stars forward Mbwana Samatta has welcomed his loan move to Turkish giant Fenerbahce. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get things started with the national news. As Chadema presidential candidate Tundu Lissu continues his campaigns in Misungwi, Kwimba, Sumve, Magu and Nyamagana constituencies in Mwanza region, he has pledged that if elected, he will dissolve the National Electoral Commission and redo the local government elections.
This is not just for Misungwi, but in any area where candidates have been taken out by the National Electoral Commission. Let me say this, we are going to win this election, and when I form a government of Chadema, we will not have anyone not chosen by the people. There will be no one calling himself a leader when he's not been elected by the people. How is cotton farming in Kwimba and the whole Usukuma area? You cultivate cotton, they leave you to struggle on your own. Once you harvest, they tell you to sell at a cooperative union. Once you take it to a cooperative union, they don't give you money, but instead, they give you papers. This is simply theft.
And Civic United Front CUF Party presidential candidate Professor Ibrahim Lipumba, while in Kagera region, has pledged that if elected into office as President of the United Republic of Tanzania, his party will ensure that it increases circulation of money in the country for Tanzanians and foreigners so that they can bring about their own development.
In these 5 years, things have been hard. The young people here have changed your tune. But the person who will loosen things, it is I, Professor Ibrahim Lipumba. I have policies on equal rights to all citizens. Poverty is getting worse. Young people of Katoro, you are aging before your time. The price of coffee has been ruined. Farmers are being cheated. CUF party wants farmers in Bukoba to get a prize in the world market.
And the presidential candidate for ADC party, Queen Cuthbert Singida, said that if elected into office, she will ensure that she improves the minerals sector, especially for small-scale miners.
We don't get cash just to take care of ourselves, but that we increase revenue and grow the economy. Because in Tanzania we don't have factories for processing, yet they tell us not to mine or to keep it in our houses. What for? The economic growth of any nation is derived from resources inside that country.
ACT Wazalendo presidential candidate Maalim Seif has continued with his campaigns in Pangawe, West Unguja district, where he pledged to ensure those who had their land grabbed are compensated.
In Maalim Seif's government, anyone who gave land will be compensated as he deserves, according to the Constitution of Zanzibar. Today they take people's land and give millions of dollars, yet you, the landowner, is paid 500,000. This is injustice. My government will deal away with it. I spoke about natural gas and oil. When we had the United Nations government, we had a law governing oil, and those whose land was taken from them were to be compensated, but no one has been compensated.
The chairman of the Political Parties Council in the country, John Shibuda, has said that the financial deficit currently being experienced by political parties as the 28th October general election campaigns continue are not to be blamed on anyone, as political parties approved the law on political parties not receiving subsidies during elections.
Lakini kama huna thamani ya kujiheshimisha ndani ya jamii,
if you want to be respected in the community and you call yourself a politician, you carry on like that. And you can't argue with the registrar. What is he supposed to do? He doesn't have the funds. We passed the law ourselves, and the law states that all parties will not be given grants. This came from political parties' stakeholders. It is not that we've not been able to campaign, but it has affected us. So parties are asking for assistance from the people, not just us. Everyone has been affected.
Wanataka kutuaminisha sisi wa Tanzania kwamba hawana.
I think they want us to believe that they don't have. When a party is formed, there are procedures, and a party has leaders in every region and district. But it's only during the election they come with conflicting statements meant to ask for pity from the voters.
Kutaka huruma ya wapiga kura.
Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM has said that the second phase of presidential, parliamentary and councillorship campaigns for the party have been highly successful. The party has also pledged to work hard for Tanzanians if given the opportunity to lead.
Kampeni zinazoendelea katika ngazi ya mikoa, ngazi za wilaya, ngazi za majimbo na ngazi za kata.
Campaigns taking place in regions, districts, constituencies and zones are going on well. I would like to commend you, Tanzanians across the country, for your cooperation and big reception and the love that you have shown us. What I would like to say on behalf of Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, the CCM party candidate, on behalf of the party, Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli will not let you down. We've been to many areas and have been met with large crowds. What we've done different this time round, we conduct meetings from 6 a.m. in some areas by 5:45. The stadium is already packed. I would like to acknowledge that in Zanzibar too, campaign is going on. The launch took place and we are doing very well.
Na kwa unyenyekevu mkubwa sana niseme hili. Tumefika maeneo mengine saa 12 kasorobo viwanja vilishajaa watu.
And the government has launched and announced official areas for wildlife abattoirs in 23 regions of Tanzania mainland, with Songwe, Mara and Rukwa regions directed to implement the program after management procedures start.
The ministry should amend laws governing the keeping of wild animals in ranches and zoo. Changes that have taken place is to reduce the price. That of a buffalo, for instance, has gone down from 4 million to 200,000, and that of antelope from 300,000 to 90,000. Regions that will not be permitted to take part are Songwe, Mara and Rukwa.
Jambo ambalo lilikuwa ni gumu ambalo tumelitafakari kwa kina ni namna ambapo
something that was difficult, which we pondered on at length, is on how we will make sure sellers and traders on game meat obey the law, which governs public health, and those who misuse this opportunity will be dealt with according to the law.
And Tanzania, through the National Clean Environment Campaign Nyumbani Choo, as well as sustainable water services, succeeded in preventing various infectious diseases, including cholera, due to sensitization on hand washing as well as use of modern toilets.
Ukijumlisha zaidi ya bilioni 40.2
40.2 billion has been taken to regions and councils. This is a lot of money, and this is benefiting people directly.
Kwa mikoa hii tumekwenda kwenye halmashauri za vijijini. Sote tunafahamu kwamba
in these regions, we've been to rural councils. As you all know, things are better in urban areas. Water is available at 86%, and 70% in rural areas. So we are making these services available to the people.
cha upatikanaji wa hizi huduma ili mwisho wa siku kuwe na usawa, kwa sababu kwa mikoa ambayo iko chini.
And that is all for the national news. National news is next. And now in international news. Health workers and employees from Kenyatta National Hospital in Nairobi have gone on strike over delayed salaries and allowances. The healthcare workers are accusing the hospital management for failing to implement a salary revision that was approved in 2012 by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
Our staff, including ourselves, we've not been paid for the last 1.5 months. It's approaching the second month, and the promises we are getting are making most of our staff become very despondent, and their morale has gone down completely. So we felt to be able to bring this attention to the county authorities, we get our staff to just make a peaceful protest by marching to the governor's office and let them know that we have issues that maybe they might be addressing, but we don't think they're giving them the importance that these matters deserve. So we are here, staff of Kiambu Level 5 Hospital. We have been letting our union deal this on our behalf. But what we have decided as a hospital is we are the ones who know where the shoe is pinching, and we have decided to just express ourselves in the best way we know how to, because we are the ones who are with these workers in the hospital, and we can see we are not giving the optimal services that we're supposed to be giving.
We are first and foremost to be in solidarity with the doctors and health workers of Kiambu Hospital and Kiambu County in general. This is because we have had meetings with the governor's team on the 16th. We sat and we agreed that all the health workers would receive their payment. That was on Wednesday. They would receive their payments that Friday. Latest, we were promised Monday. Now, that one did not happen. So the doctors and the other health workers are not ready to be given promises that are not being fulfilled. If we are not able to put our priorities right, and by making sure that the doctors and health workers are paid in good time. 2 months is too long for anybody to wait for a salary.
And the government of Belgium has given Rwanda 40 ambulances worth 2 billion Rwandan francs to support improvement of health services in the country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Daniel Ngamije, said the ambulances will help to reduce maternal and infant deaths.
Icyo dushaka nuko indembe aho zituruka mu bigo nderabuzima hose zigana ku bitaro bikuru zibasha kugera kwa muganga.
These vehicles will reduce the number of deaths from those who are on the way to the hospital, especially expectant mothers and children.
I think that we have a great cooperation, a long-standing one.
We have good cooperation with Rwanda health officers. We've been working together for a long time and have been through numerous projects aimed at improving essential health services, as well as to enable rural dwellers to have access to medical services.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya has commended military forces on the role they played in implementation of infrastructure rehabilitation projects. He made the statement at Eldoret Military Training School in Uasin Gishu County.
Let me at this point note with appreciation IGAD missions in various parts of the world. We are charging you with the duty of protecting this nation from assailants, but also help stabilize the entire Eastern African region.
That is all for the international news. We'll be back with business news after this short break.
Business Edition, as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now in business news. A report from UN Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, has shown that investments in various projects has brought about sustainable development and improved value chains in business and economic activities in developing countries such as Tanzania.
Global program na kazi zote zinazofanyika headquarters yake iko Dar.
The headquarter is in Dar es Salaam, and all experts are Tanzanian and have made a success of the program here in Tanzania and has been distributed to 8 countries.
The excellence of this initiative is that it's headquartered in Tanzania and it covers quite a number of countries. And my colleague Peter from our country team actually works just beyond the country. As we have heard from the board director of the CDF, there were a lot of important achievements of this program, but the most important one is that it's really local, that it looks at local capacities and supports those and makes sure that we support people as much as we can and just return it all into the economy. Besides, it also then encourages others to be investing. When they see CDF investing in certain areas, they do as well, and that multiplies the effect.
And the Minister of Industry and Trade in Zanzibar, Ambassador Amina Salum Ali, has said research done on the business environment in the Isles shows that there is still very few investors in the industrial sector.
Hii imefanywa kwa kuzingatia vigezo vya urahisi wa kufanya biashara.
The evaluation was carried out by consideration of standards that promote business license, building permits, credit and electricity.
Athiri mazingira ya ufanyaji biashara hapa Zanzibar.
Kupitia baraza la leseni.
Through the licensing board, it has been shown that there is clear intention. Before the launch, while still working, we began to find solutions to those areas within our capacity.
Yalikuwa hatukwazi kisera na kisheria.
Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, TPSF, and stakeholders from the cashew nut sector started implementing the first phase of cooperation with a markets and capital institution from the U.S. called Ward Holding, which has come to Tanzania to invest in cashew nut production.
It is intended to build capacity to processors to work with international stakeholders meant to help them, but also on financing.
Ni mwisho lingine ni namna gani ya kusaidia upatikanaji wa mitaji itakayochagiza financing.
Kwa hapa Tanzania wameona korosho ndo sekta ambayo
Tanzania, this is a sector tick 2. For Tanzania, this is a sector they feel that they can begin with. They don't have factories, so they will use those with factories.
Badala hizi mazao au vitu vingine
rather than exporting.
And that is all for the business news. We'll be back with sports next.
Going away, Shea trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment, going away. Shea trying to go with him, and he's going
position, Marquinhos. He did lose some length.
And now in sports. Taifa Stars forward Mbwana Samata has welcomed his loan move to Turkish giants Fenerbahce. Here's the story.
Striker joined the team from the English Premier League side Aston Villa. The Tanzanian striker has now revealed his ambition is to maintain the reputation of the 19-time league champions and play a role in them winning trophies. The striker heads to Istanbul, having joined the Villans for £8.5 million from Belgian top-flight side Genk. However, he has failed to make the desired impact in England, scoring just twice in 16 appearances.
And Twiga Stars head coach Bakari Shime says he is satisfied with the condition of his players as they prepare for the World Cup qualifiers, whereby they will start by facing Senegal.
The team is in good condition. The players are well. We thank TFF as well as the government because our league resumed early, and so our players were back in form through the Women's Premier League as well as the First Division.
Arsenal are continuing to be frustrated in their attempts to sign Thomas Partey despite talks progressing with Atletico Madrid over a deal from Lucas Torreira.
The outfit have set their straits on the Uruguay international, who has been told he is free to leave the Gunners following 2 years at the club. Italian side Torino are also long-term admirers of the 24-year-old, but Madrid are at the front of the queue for the midfielder, who they view as a replacement for Hector Herrera, and remain deep in discussions with the Gunners over a deal. Torreira has already agreed to join Diego Simeone's side, who completed the signing of his compatriot Luis Suarez from Barcelona on Wednesday night.
And Lionel Messi has aimed a fresh dig at Barcelona on the back of his efforts to leave the club, with the Argentine questioning the decision at Camp Nou to throw out Luis Suarez.
Having endured a frustrating end to the 2019-2020 campaign, a six-time Ballon d'Or winner pushed for the exits in Catalonia. His path was blocked, and the 33-year-old eventually revealed to Goal that he will be honoring the final year of his contract. Others have been allowed to move on, though, with Ronald Koeman deeming Suarez to be surplus to requirements shortly after being announced as successor to ousted coach Quique Setién. The Uruguayan striker is now crossing a La Liga divide to link up with Atletico Madrid, with a memorable 6-year spell with Barca being brought to a close.
The Los Angeles Lakers are a victory away from returning to the NBA Finals, and only another comeback from 3-1 down by the Denver Nuggets can stop them.
Anthony Davis scored 34 points, LeBron James had 26, and the Lakers bet the Nuggets 114-108 in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Davis got the Lakers off to a fast start with his scoring, and James helped them finish it with his defense, forcing Jamal Murray into some late misses after the guard had kept the Nuggets in it with an array of high-difficulty baskets. James added 9 rebounds and 8 assists, and the Lakers had 12 offensive rebounds for a whopping 25-6 advantage in second-chance points.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Good night and have a good weekend.